Alright, going to show you a new Deluge feature, which I know a lot of people are excited for. This one allows you to load up a song to begin playing as soon as your currently playing song finishes its loop. So if I just get one song playing, if I now go into load song mode, and select another song to load, pressing down the load button, you see it quickly did its spinning animation there, loading samples. That one was very quick. Now it's saying done. As soon as I release my finger, it arms it, and then the next song starts playing seamlessly after the previous one. I could have also just pressed the load button just momentarily. There was no need to actually hold it down if I didn't want to really specify the exact timing of the arming. A slight variation on that functionality is if you want to maintain the tempo from the one song into the next one. So I'll just do that same thing again. If I now go to load up the second song, so long as I'm holding down the tempo encoder or knob while I press load, it will maintain the exact tempo or a multiple thereof as it loads the next song. And of course you can then go and edit it like you normally would as well. Now on this Deluge, you can see we have one of the magnetic overlays. This is actually just a prototype one. It's not the perfect final one that you're going to receive. The way that these shortcuts work, if I just have a simple basic synth sound happening here, you can jump straight into particular parameters just by holding down Shift and then pressing one of the pads. This one is marked LPF frequency, so I can go in there, control the LPF frequency like that. And the same for all these different parameters here, basically every parameter in the synth engine. Now, you'll also see that this Env2 pad is blinking slowly at the moment. This right-hand column is the modulation source column, showing all the different modulation sources that can be patched to particular parameters. And at the moment, this one is flashing to indicate that envelope 2 is patched to LPF frequency. Now, if we go into envelope 2 for LPF frequency, just by going Shift and pressing the envelope 2 one, we can edit the exact amount that envelope 2 is going to LPF frequency. So we can turn it off completely, or even put it negative. You can of course have multiple modulation sources going to the same parameters, so we can also send, say, LFO1 there to LPF frequency, as well as envelope 2. And if we jump back now to just editing the LPF frequency itself, we can now see that both these pads are flashing, envelope 2 and LFO1, indicating that both of those sources are patched there. Another new synth engine feature is FM feedback. So if I go and just create a new synth, make it an FM1, FM feedback really sort of lets you get almost a more kind of saw wave kind of sound from your sine waves. And again, the shortcut matrix allows you to easily get to those parameters. So FM feedback for oscillator 1 or carrier 1 is here. We could also instead, or as well, have an FM modulator going and add feedback to that instead, which sounds different again. Or have feedback on both the carrier and the modulator. So for editing FM patches, we've got 4 different columns here. The 2 carriers, which are the same as the just oscillator columns for working with subtractive synths, and then over here the 2 FM modulator columns. So for each modulator you can separately control things like the amount or volume, the transpose, and also the feedback. And for one of them, the destination of whether it goes to the carriers or to the other modulator, modulator 1. I've added a new feature allowing sidechain compressor shape to be altered. So if I just get a basic synth part and kick track going, dial in some sidechain compression, the actual shape of that sort of compressor release can now be changed. This is the punchiest setting you're hearing at the moment. Or we can dial that down a bit to come up sort of more smoothly and linearly after each kick hit. So here's the no punch setting, and then more punch. There's now a way to switch off the flashing cursor if you wish. So in the settings menu, go through to flash and switch off. I've also added a track position indicator while in keyboard mode for if you're recording. The track position blinks across the top here. So you can keep track of how long your track is and make your recorded part fit to it. There's now a brightness control as well. There's now an even easier way to edit sample start and end times. So previously you had to go through a couple of different menus to be able to edit the seconds and milliseconds of each of those times. Now, not only is there a shortcut to those parameters, but if we go into that shortcut, say for this simple sample sound, if we go into the one for the start time, you can now edit it as a decimal number in seconds. So you can edit the 0.1 of a second of the start time, or you can move along sideways and choose which digit you want to edit. So you can sort of jump up a whole second at a time. Only hearing the end of it there. I'll go back, or just edit even right down to the millisecond. And the same for the sample end time.